Don't forget to push this button, comment. Don't forget to push this button, like. Don't forget to push this button, share. All those things that matter. And now that that's finally out of the way, can we please get back to the Payneful and start having some fun? For the love of God and all things holy. Good evening and welcome to Payneful Change Day 43. Yeah, I'm not at the Orem Rec Center. Been a very, very difficult last couple of weeks. I've managed to keep going with Wrestle Rock Talk because that's something new that I'm really trying to establish. But everything else has been a really difficult point in my life. And I have to tell you right now, I'm just really struggling. First and foremost, my divorce was final. And I'd like to apologize again to my ex-wife for all the pain that I've caused her. And I'm sad that once again I am an abysmal failure at something that means so much to me, and that's my marriage, which no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't save. And that's a difficult thing for me, a very difficult thing for me. My divorce was finalized yesterday. Actually, I got the final paperwork in the mail, and it hasn't been easy because I grew up believing in marriage was forever, and I felt it forever twice. And I'm not afraid to say that because I have to recognize that obviously I did something wrong. I'm not foolish enough to believe that it's any one person's fault in a marriage. It takes both people to make a marriage, and unfortunately this one failed as well. And I'm incredibly sad about that. Now I have to move on. So I will. The second thing is the doctor told me a week ago that I couldn't go to the gym any longer until I got my blood pressure under control. I woke up one day with this incredible headache and this horrible pain in the side of my temple. And scared the hell out of me, so I started checking my blood pressure. My blood pressure was 200 over 110, which is potentially hospitalizable, if that's a word. Hospitalizable. I don't know if it is or not. It sounds right, doesn't it? I should have gone to the hospital. Let me just say it that way. But I didn't. I called my doctor, and he got me in immediately the next day and put me on a whole bunch of new drugs. Told me I needed to back off of the gym for a while, just until I get my blood pressure back under control. I feel like it's finally starting to come down and get there with some new medications. And it's felt like the proverbial metaphor of, I guess that's sort of redundant, but the age-old metaphor of one step forward and two steps backwards. I've done everything I could to kill myself at the gym and work my tail off to get myself to the next level, hoping for the exact result of not having to take blood pressure medications to stop my diabetes in its tracks. And I've not been as successful as I'd like to be. That doesn't mean I'm going to quit. In fact, the last few days I've been working very hard in a different way. I'm not going to stop going to the gym. I'm not going to stop doing all the things I love and believe in. I'm not going to give up on the life I want to live and talking to you every day and bringing you into my life. And then the last thing I'm dealing with personally is a level of loneliness. I live in a great household full of wonderful people who care about me and love me and take care of me. But I've said this before, just not too many episodes ago, of how hard it is to be. I got married when I was 16 years old, my first time. I had my first child 2 months after I turned 17. I was with that woman for 28 years, and I was with the last woman for 15 years. And I've never been alone. I've never been without a woman. And I have to tell you, it is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I love women. I love being around women. And at 62 years old, it's not very easy to just go out there and start dating again. In fact, I don't see myself doing that in the near future. Just because, I don't have the energy right now because I'm doing so many other things in my life. But loneliness, there's no other way to put it, but it's a motherfucker. I'll just flat out say it that way. It is an incredibly difficult thing to deal with on a daily basis. And quite frankly, I'm tired of it. And, but I will go on. I want to say thank you to all of those of you who follow me and are there and watching and are part of this thing from the beginning. I call you the hidden because that's who I am. I'm that guy that has kind of remained hidden all my life, but no longer. I've got a lot to say, and I'm going to say it. I'm going to keep fighting and battling. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to concede. I'm not going to do anything but work my tail off to be a better man and be better at who I am and what I am hoping to do in my life. Which brings me to the last part of this segment, which is Croach. I'm going to, within the next 2 days, you'll see an episode about how hard I've worked on Croach to get it down to bare bones. Croach will now start to be the focus of my attention as long as the weather will permit me to do that here in Utah. I am going to use it as my home as soon as I can because I built it myself, and that's the part I'm proud of. Once again, I've proven in my life that the sheer will of human tenacity is amazing, and I have worked my tail off to get it down to its skeleton, so now I can rebuild it. I guess the metaphor is that's kind of where I'm at in life. Now I have to start all over at 62 years old. It's not a great idea and it's not a great plan, but you know what? It's the one I've been given, and so guess what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work my tail off. I'm going to change my life. And I'm just going to keep shooting video because that's who I am. That's all I've ever wanted to do is make movies, make music, and make cars. And I'm going to do that. And I'm not going to stop for the rest of my life. So I just wanted to say, even though I started off this particular episode of Painful Change 43 on what would seem to be a downer note, as down as I am, it's going to get better because I'm not going to stop. I'm going to make sure it gets better by working my tail off. You know, there's a great character in George Orwell's Animal Farm. His name's Boxer, and he's the horse. And his answer to everything is, well, if something's wrong, we just didn't work hard enough. Maybe I need to work harder. That's who I am. That's the kind of family I came from. My father worked in a steel mill for 33 years of his life and didn't miss a single day of work from a sick day. I watched my father work until he was 81 years old, and because that's just who he was. His life was spent working hard every day. And I believe that too, that the harder I work, the more it will set me free. So thanks for joining me on Painful Change, Day 43. Thanks for being a part of the pain layer with me. And until the next time on the pain layer.